Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back here with a proper review. I know it's late out here. I'm out in my car, so new format, as I mentioned before. But so this is my. I kind of rushed that last review out for the Tyler Perry film. Um, I gave my rating and everything. So the rating and everything is going to be the same as that last video. But I'm gonna go ahead and uh, this is going to be a spoiler review. So unless you don't give a shit about the ending, uh, or anything like that, just or if you actually give a shit about the ending, just click off the video. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of spoil this one, because it needs to be spoiled because the movie's that bad. Uh, so again, this is so as I said before, this is uh what's this movie? Straw. Written, so it's written, directed, and produced by Tyler Perry, just like all his other movies. So you have so the stars Taraji P Henson as Anaya. Uh, I forgot what Tiana Taylor's name was in this, and then Sinbad shows up in here. It's in the last review. So basically, you have all those characters. So I'm not gonna go over my review too much. So Anaya, basically, she's going through a lot. She lost everything. She lost her apartment, her daughter, her car, and her job in the same day, because that's Tyler Perry writing, man. We got to make it as over the top dramatic as possible, which is stupid, to be honest with you. But because nothing like that happens to people. Like, they don't lose all that in the same day. That's ridiculous. Um, but Tyler Perry writes it because he feels like that's necessary to be dramatic. So that happens, and then so Anaya, she like I said, again, spoilers. So if you don't want to see the spoilers, do not go any further in this video. I'm going to spoil this movie. So basically, so Janaya, uh, she basically loses her job, and by the meanest black dude I've ever seen. Because Tyler Perry hates black men. Let's face it, he hates black men. He makes them the villain. So, and this is no exception. He's done this a lot. So this is the black dude villain, who is the most unsympathetic character I've ever seen in a movie, to the point to where he's just unrealistic. So he basically tells her, so she's on the phone and she's like, yeah, my daughter, my school's on the phone. My daughter, my daughter's on the phone or whatever, or the school's on the phone about my daughter, and I need to get her medicine because she has seizures. And that will make a play later on in the movie. But so she tells him, she's like, yeah, my daughter, she has seizures, so I have to contact them or whatever. And he's like, I don't give a damn. You got to get out there and hit those registers. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, okay, nobody's that mean, you know. Especially even when he fires her. Like, he tells her, he's like, you need to get your ass out of here. And she's like, well, what about my paycheck? And he's like, well, check's in the mail. Looking at her like, okay, what are you still doing here? Check's in the mail. And I'm just thinking to myself, I was like, okay, bro, nobody's that mean. That's crazy. Nobody is that mean in real life. Um, a lot of bosses, they'll let you down easy, but not Tyler Perry. Not a black dude written by Tyler Perry. Trust me. Um, he'll write them like the villains. Like, a Marvel villain will look at some of the black dudes in a Tyler Perry movie and be like, man, calm down. Like, you're doing too much. Like, I just started playing it, but you need to relax. Uh, yeah. So she loses her job. So she's on the way to taking her daughter to. So the movie opens up with her I guess I didn't open up with the movie. So the movie opens up with her bathing her daughter and stuff like that, and they're talking about her science fair project. And and by the way, they never describe what, they never even tell you what her science project actually is. They never even explain it. But they're talking about her science project, and and she takes her to school, and the landlord threatens. So she's behind on her rent a lot, which I understand. You know, you're behind you're behind on your rent like a few months. Your landlord is going to say something to you. However, my issue with the whole thing, it was that like I said, like the landlord has to give her notice that she's going to evict her. But this is Tyler Perry world, man. Come on, like you expect Tyler Perry to make sense. So she threatens to basically throw her shit outside. She tells her, she's like, "Hey, you know, I'm going to throw your shit outside if you don't get my rent by today." And she's like, "Yeah, you're going to have your rent by today. You're going to have your rent." Taraji P. Henson tells her, "You're going to have your rent." Um, so she drives her daughter to school. Um, they have this long conversation about her science fair project, which looks like a bomb, by the way. Yeah, like this is what I mean by the piss poor writing of Tyler Perry. So there's like this scene. um so in the movie, the one of the biggest plot points in this movie is they think that she is the reason why they won't storm the building or whatever is because they think she has a bomb. uh Sorry about that. Nobody thinks of bringing snipers. Think of a tactical, like to get a tactical advantage on somebody with a bomb. Nothing like that. So the whole thing is they think her daughter's science fair project is a bomb. Which, if you look at it, you're like, bro, that is a bomb. Like nobody's like her teachers would not let her come to school with that. It's a bomb. It looks like a bomb. It beeps like one, it ticks like one, but Tyler Perry tries to gloss over it and go like, "Oh yeah, you know, it's not a bomb. Come on, it looks like a bomb, but come on, believe me, it's not a bomb." And you're just like, "What? Come on, man." So anyway, so she gets this call from her school or from the school or whatever. Um, they're talking about like her daughter, Anaya's daughter is, or Janaya, sorry, Janaya's daughter is dirty. Um, she hasn't taken a bath in a while. Her clothes haven't been washed in a minute. Uh, just piling problems. I'm like, Tyler, you don't have to write your characters like this. And then for a guy who says he loves black women so much, it's like, why would you write them this terribly? Why would you write them so, like, why would you write them this awful? Um, and the ending. We'll get to the ending. The ending is egregious. I'm sorry. That has to be one of the worst endings I've ever seen from Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry has written some really bad endings. He's written nothing but bad endings. His endings have been have been nothing but garbage. I don't know any movie that he's in that's been on a good note, but this one takes the cake for me. So he I'm sorry, I went on that rant and I forgot where my thought was. I had my thought process and I forgot it. Uh as it was. So there's a scene in the movie where her daughter gets taken by CPS. I don't know. That's what I assume they were. So she goes in. She goes into the school because she was called in. Because Anaya was getting her Jania's daughter was getting sick, and she needed her medicine. So she goes into the school, and the teacher's talking to her about her daughter. Uh, and she's having this full on conversation with her about like her not eating, her not being bathed, like I say again, her laundry not being done or whatever. And Taraji P. Henson's trying to convince him like, hey, you know, no, I'm taking care of my daughter and stuff like that. All the while, like they're like dragging her daughter off, which doesn't make sense to me. That's a process. CPS is a process, or child protective, well, yeah, I guess child protective service, CPS. That's a process. They don't just swoop in like that and just grab your child and take them away. This leads me to believe that Tyler Perry doesn't know how children's services work. So they do that, and then Taraji P Henson goes to her job uh, to where it gets robbed. Um, I forgot to bring up too, because there's a scene where she's like bringing these she's bringing this black couple up, and um the black couple, and everybody should notice at this point, if you have WIC, it certain items you can't buy with food stamps. It's just what it is. But they get pissed off at her, and they're like, "Get my damn card!" So the girl snatches the card from her, and goes like, "Get my damn card!" And then her boyfriend takes a bottle and fucking throws it at her before they leave. Like, seriously, he throws a bottle at her, and I'm like, man, like is everybody in this movie like from Assholeville? Like, I don't understand it. Like, everybody hates her. Like, it's crazy. Like, this is the most unrealistic world I've ever heard of. And this is why I say Tyler Perry's dramas don't work, because they're so unrealistic. Because it's literally like everybody in this world is screwing with Taraji P. Henson's character so that way they can make her more likable. And she doesn't come off as likable. She was likable for a bit, and I think a lot was carried by Taraji P. Henson's performance, but then her likability kind of flew out the window for me, to be honest with you. So there's I'm sorry, man. I keep going off on these tangents about the movie. I keep trying to jump ahead because this movie is just aggravating how terrible it is. And I know it's a Tyler Perry film, but it's fucking aggravating. But like, okay, so uh, so what it is her boss fires her because she always has these issues. It's always excuses or whatever. The way he fires her is a little stupid. I was like, why would you fire her like immediately? Like, it was almost like he couldn't wait to fire this girl. So he fires her, and then he goes and he tells her, she's like, well, can I at least have my last paycheck? You know, any employee, like, if you're at a job and you get fired, you go like, hey man, I need my last paycheck. Because even the way he fires her is ridiculous. It like I said, Tyler Perry and dark skinned black men in his movies, like he shits on them every chance he gets. He turns them into a straight villain. There's just no redeeming quality about those characters. This dude hates black men. It is what it is. But so he fires her, and she asks for her check, and he goes like, well, check's in the mail, and I'm like, wait, man, like, okay, come on, Tyler, stop, bro, like, come on. No, nobody talks like that. Even if he could not produce the check then and there, because I know certain jobs won't have a check when you ask for it, but at the same time, no, it's like he would just flat out tell her, he's like, well, they'll mail your check between such and such amount of days or whatever, and you'll get your paycheck. He doesn't do that. He just looks at her and goes, "Who checks in the mail?" And I'm like, okay, this writing is getting out of hand. So so she takes so on cue in every Tyler Perry movie, on cue, two guys come in. I don't know how they got past everything. Uh, if they were scoping the place out to know where the office was, I didn't know personally. They never explain it. So it's two dudes that run in and talk about the stuff, the issues that adds on to Taraji P. Henson's character, Janaya. One of the robbers punches her in the face. Oh, and this is after this is after a racist police officer. Y'all, I bullshit you not. It's a racist police officer that runs her off the road, and he's in plain clothes, And he goes like, "Yeah, did you realize you ran a cop off the road?" And I'm like, "No, bro, because you're wearing regular clothes." I didn't even know that, and I'm watching the movie. You're wearing regular clothes. Who's going to know you're a police officer, sir? You're in regular clothes driving a regular car. Like the writing is bad. So like so he does that. He runs her off the road, and then like he's like, "Watch where you're going, bitch." And don't get me like the thing is like he caused the accident. He caused the road rage accident. So he picks up his drink basically his little drink that he got from like a convenience store or something like that, and he throws it at her car, and then like he proceeds to chase her down. And it's like, bro, like it's over, like leave it alone. But he's the villain, he's the racist villain. He's white and he's racist, so Tyler Perry has to write him over the top too. And I don't mind you writing a racist white character, but like at least write him with some personality. There's some racist white characters I actually liked because their personality was good. And Tyler Perry, like in this, he just doesn't know how to write characters. Like he writes this guy so villainous, it's fake. And it like literally it's fake. And you think like, Rob, you're being a little too hyperbolic. He's being a fake racist, bro. There's a point in like literally in the same exact scene. There's a point where he says he tells her to her face with his partner standing right next to him. He goes like he's like he's like, I swear to goodness, he's like, I wish there was a way I could legally blow your brains out. No, this is a line in the movie. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not even reiterating what he said. He flat out tells her, he said, I wish there was a legal way for me to blow your brains out. And I was like, whoa. And then like his partner is with it. So I'm like, man, man, nobody likes this girl. This is one of those cartoons. You know what this remind me of? I swear to goodness. This this is why I was laughing at this movie. This reminds me of like the cartoons where the main character who has nothing but shit thrown at them throughout life has nothing but a rain cloud just hovering over them, raining on them and storming on them no matter where they walk to. It's not raining on everybody else, but it's just this tiny little rain cloud and it's just raining and storming on them. That's what this reminds me of. Aside from it being a ripoff of John Q and Falling Down, because that's what it's really trying to be. It's trying to be John Q and Falling Down, but failing miserably. Um, so those are actually good movies. Unlike this, those were good movies. John Q and Falling Down. If you haven't seen those, definitely check them out. Uh, so so uh, that's right. So she shoots her manager. So wait, she gets the gun from the robber, that the two guys that's robbing him. She shoots one of the robbers, and the other robber gets away. And this is what I mean by this boss is so evil. Like Tyler Perry, like y'all understand. Like y'all, you think like I'm trying to say like Tyler Perry treats all black men evilly, and he does. Like there was a point in his career, like every dark skinned black man, especially every dark skinned black man, happened to be the villain. He started changing up a little bit after a while, but every black man in his movies was villain. I was like, this dude hates black men. That's what it is. So, so if y'all see me in the next Tyler Perry movie, you know I'm going to be the villain. So he so where was I at? Man, I keep losing because I keep going on tangents. I keep losing it. Okay, so she kills the she happens to wrestle the gun away from one of the people who's robbing her and her boss in the office. How did they get in there? I don't know. Ask Tyler Perry. So she shoots one of the robbers, and um and I was like, okay, you shot one of the burglars. Your boss can help you get off or whatever. This is how poorly written these people are. So the boss looks at her and goes like, "You set this up, didn't you? You set this up." It's like, bro, she literally just saved your life. She just saved your life, and you can't even give her no gratitude. She has to mess up somewhere because Tyler Perry. It's Tyler Perry writing. Literally, it's Tyler Perry writing, because no person would have done that in real life. He would have congratulated her for saving his life, and he doesn't do that. He goes like, "You set this up. You set me up to get robbed," and I'm like, "How did you come to that conclusion, though? I don't understand. How did you come to that conclusion?" Um, So Taraji P Henson, she snaps at the fact that he said that she conspired other people to get him to get robbed. So she shoots him. She shoots her manager. He dies. And then after that, she takes her. So he's got a pile of money sitting on the table. And I'm thinking, me and my brother, we both like, bro, you already committed homicide. You might as well just take the money that he stored and go. But Tyler Perry world, she has to be the good character, which um this is honestly where I kind of departed from Taraji P Henson's character. I didn't really like her that much, and Tyler Perry th- he was this close. He was this much of an inkling to make her likable, and then he pulled that bullshit where she takes her check and she goes to cash it, but he's got her boss has like stacks of like 100s sitting on the table. It's like that right there is more than enough money to pay your rent and everything else. I mean, in this case, leave the country, go to Acapulco or something. But I mean, something, man. I'm like, you murdered your boss. You snapped and you murdered your boss. You committed homicide. You're already going to jail for that for a very long time. But Tyler Perry wants to go like, nah, I want to make her a good person. I want her to just take her check, steal her check that her boss wouldn't give her, and cash her for 500. I think what I said in the last video was a 520. It was $520 and I'm thinking to myself, me and my brother, we were talking about, we're like, bro, just steal the stacks of money. You committed a crime. You committed homicide. You literally committed homicide. You murdered your boss. The robbers, that was okay because you can at least explain that, but your boss, no, you can't explain that. So she goes to the chat. She goes to the bank, gets her chat cash. I can't remember when it was where she went to her apartment and all her stuff was outside, like immediately. That I might explain it in the video already. But yeah, her landlord just sits her stuff outside, and she does the why. I don't know if that's what she said, but it's similar to that. I was actually kind of, I kind of held back laughs on that part. I thought that part was actually kind of funny, because again, so poorly written. So so Tyler Perry decides to have her go in, uh basically rob this bank. So the gun that she took from the burglar, the dudes that was robbing the store, one of the robbers got away. He saw that she blew his dude away and he ran. And then the manager accused her of conspiring with no proof or evidence. All he literally has to do is watch the video, and he sees like she literally had nothing to do with it. I don't even think he had to read the video. Like all he had to do was recuse to know that she had nothing to do with it. But again, it's a Tyler Perry villain. So and then so she goes in. She's trying to cash her check, and her car got towed. So because her car got towed, her ID was in the car. So they asked for her ID, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I don't have my ID. They took my car with my ID." And she's like, "Well, I can't cash your check if you don't have your ID." And Taraji P. Henson just gets fed up, so she just pulls up the gun and she sits on the counter and tells him, "Look, I want you to cash my check." At this point, she's robbing a bank. I don't care what nobody says. She's robbing a bank because your problem is, so you're going to desperately pull a gun out to get your check cashed, but you don't have your ID. All this woman is doing is she's following protocol to make sure you're not stealing someone else's paycheck. She doesn't know that you're Anaya. She doesn't know that. So she slides the gun on the counter, basically threatening her to take her. She's like, "I just want my $524 to cash my check." Because Tyler Perry looks at her like, "Oh, look at that. See, y'all fell for her, right?" And it's like, bro, no, you've literally made her very unlikable. Because the bank teller is just doing her job, and she's desperate. Uh, so Oh my god, the scene with the bomb. I cannot wait to get to the scene with the bomb. Oh my god, the bomb. That is the most that is the most egregiously badly written shit that I've ever watched in a while. And Tyler Perry has written some really bad shit. He really has, like, a lot of his twist endings, cuz this has a twist to it too. Oh, we're going to get to that twist. But Tyler Perry, when he writes a twist, it's the worst thing ever. He keeps trying it, and I'm like, bro, you're not even a good enough writer to write a basic story. Why are you trying to write a complicated story? Like, stop doing that. Like, like, it's aggravating. He keeps trying to do it, and it's like, bro, you're no better last time than you are this time. Stop trying to do it. So there's a scene with the bomb. So of course it sets up like John Q again with the negotiators, the police officers, stuff like that. One of the negotiators is played by Tiana Taylor, who I think is good in the movie. Honestly, her and Taraji P. Henson, my opinion didn't change on that. I felt like they carried the movie. Those two carried the movie. Tiana Taylor is a natural. Not only is she fine as hell, but she's a natural. And Taraji P. Henson is fine too. She's fine as hell too. I ain't gonna front. Both fine women, really good actresses. And Tiana Taylor hasn't been acting that long. Well, yeah, she has. She has. She was in a Tyler Perry movie before, but she's really good. She's a natural, and so she is put on the Tiana Taylor is eventually put on the task to negotiate with her, which the supporting cast is so bad in this. So he goes like, so one of the supporting cast members, the guy from what's that other Tyler Perry movie, The Family That Prays. He was the main character in The Family That Prays. He played like a construction worker who was good friends with Tyler Perry's character. I don't remember none of their names in the movie, but so she he comes in and he's the police chief, right? One of the worst like he's so bad. I haven't seen him in anything other than that Tyler Perry movie, but he's bad in this. And he comes in and he's like, yeah, so you have to negotiate. And he's like, I thought Tiana Taylor's character, the way she described why she should negotiate with another woman, it made sense. But then his character comes in, he's like, how can you be so sure about that? And it's like, bro, it's negotiation. It's psychology. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Like, if you don't know what you're talking about, then step aside. Like, what are you doing? Uh, so Tiana Taylor does get to negotiate with her. So so Taraji P. Henson's worry throughout this entire movie, and it got on my nerves after a while, was, and she repeats this a lot. Like, she repeats it to the point where I was like, bro, I get it. Okay, stop repeating yourself. So she has to pay $40 for her daughter's seizure medicine, and then she has to pay the rest of the money for her rent. And Sherry Shepard is in here too. And Sherry Shepard, she plays the bank manager. For those who don't know who Sherry Shepard is, she's a legendary actor. She's been around for a minute. I've seen her a lot of stuff. She was on BET for a while. But Sherry Shepard is in here, and she plays the bank manager. And she's the really sympathetic bank manager. I actually really liked her character here. I wish the acting was a little bit better, and I wish the writing was a little bit better. But other than that, like, she was a very sympathetic character. She was that one character that was like, yeah, I sympathize with you. To Anaya or Janaya. I want to call her Anaya, but Janaya. So Janaya, she's robbing the bank or whatever, and yeah. Let me read the bomb situation. The bomb. Oh my god. So there's this thing that's beeping in her bag that looks. If you see it, it looks like a bomb. It resembles a bomb. Um, but they say it's supposed to be her daughter's science fair project, which I said to that, I was like, that isn't like a science fair project. It looks like a bomb. Like, that looks like a bomb. It looks like your daughter went and got the anarchist cookbook and, and followed instructions. I'm like, it clearly looks like a bomb. And then she nonchalantly turns it off and goes, "Oh yeah, it's not a bomb. It's my daughter's science fair project." I'm like, "Yeah, your daughter's science project that looks like a fucking bomb." It's like, what are we doing here? Awful writing of Tyler Perry. Awful writing. Like immediately. So their whole play is, well, the police won't rush in here because they think you have a bomb. And it's like, how do they know that? Like literally, how do they know you have a bomb? You didn't tell that. She never tells them once that she has a bomb. I don't even think anybody really tells them she has a bomb. Uh, like, they just assume she has a bomb or something like that in her bag because it's beeping and the light is going off and everything. But she goes like, "Yeah, it's my daughter's science fair project." Um, so I've been on here for about over half an hour. I'm just gonna kind of get to the meat potatoes of this. This movie is garbage. It's bullshit. Um, so I'm gonna tell you the twist. Okay, here's the twist. If not Shyamalan twist. So she gets a call from her mom when she's robbing a bank, right? And she's screaming she's like, "Mama, it's not my fault. I just wanted to cash my check. I just wanted," and it's like, cashing checks at the window. You murdered two people, and you held up a bank for your paycheck. You basically robbed a bank. Like there's no way around that. So she's talking to her mom, and her mom tells her that Jania's daughter died a while back, or I think she died like a while back or something like that. Or last night. She died the night before. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. So that's the big old twist. The twist is she had a psychotic break because her daughter died. And she had a seizure that she didn't recover from. And I'm all for being sad about stuff like that. And I was a little sad about it when I heard her daughter died. But I'm thinking, like, her daughter died in the care of um child protection services. No. No. You know why? Because Tyler Perry, that actually would have made sense. What he does instead is he does this montage of, like, Taraji P. Henson talking to herself. Um, like, I feel like I'm doing this YouTube video. No, I'm just, but no, I'm talking to y'all. Y'all cool. You're cool. Uh, so she, she, yeah, basically the movie's trying to tell you that she imagined all this. She imagined her daughter still being alive. So I'm just thinking, like, so who built the science project? Who were you giving a bath to at the beginning of the film? Uh, so when CPS was taking your child away, how did that scene play out? Because they try to play the scene out, and Tyler Perry tries to do some bullshit that Lift did. That movie, that garbage movie Lift with Kevin Hart. He tries to do the same thing. So he had one scene play out the very beginning of the movie. You clearly see her coming down there because she got a call from the school, and Children's Services is taking her daughter away, and she's arguing and yelling with the people to bring her daughter back. So at the end of this movie, I swear they changed the scene entirely. She comes down and the teacher's like, teacher goes, "We didn't call you," and I'm like, wait, what? Not according to the scene at the beginning. Like, what the hell's going on? And it's for Tyler Perry to do a cheap, lazy, fake out twist, because that's not how you do a twist. Twist. What Tyler Perry never understands about a twist is you have to build into it. You have to sort of build into it. You had to wow and shock me. So when he got to the twist, I was confused. I was like, I don't understand that. So her daughter was dead the whole time. But then she says, but her and her mom said the daughter died last night. So if she died last night, but yet she's been dead the whole time, what? That doesn't add up. I'm sorry, Tyler. Like the kids say these days, the math ain't mathin'. I'm sorry, it's not. So yeah, that's ending. To this garbage. Oh yeah, and they try to make this a priority for her to catch the racist police officers that gave her a ticket and towed her car. And it's like, look, I don't feel bad for you. I'm sorry. You murdered two people and you held up a bank, and then you try to convince people that you didn't rob the bank, and then you have supporters go out and buy picket signs for some stupid reason. Yeah, this movie's garbage, 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 garbage. And I'm glad I actually ruined it for y'all too, so that way you don't have to subject yourself to such torture, called Straw. Uh, so yeah, that is my extended spoiler review for Straw. Um, this is definitely the last straw for me. I had to get through it, and then that ending, because the ending is egregious. Okay, I gotta add this disclaimer to this one, because I already gave you my review in the last video. If you, I'll give it to you here. Why not? I gave it a do not recommend. Um, and I said if I had something lower than a do not recommend, I give that. Um, so it's you know what, I ignored it for a long time. People saying Todd Perry's exploiting black people. Spike Lee said it. Ava DuVernay said it. It's so many. There were other black directors who called him out on it, and he ignored them and just kind of spit on them. Really, I would say like actually literally spit on them, but he just sort of just like dismissed like their claims of such. But then like he goes out his way to make a movie about a black woman who literally has the most unrealistic unfortunate events just drop on her within the course of like an hour, and then gives the ending that she's crazy. Like that is the worst, and like that is a fucking egregious ending. I'm sorry, that ending is fucking egregious. um I like I'm not, I just don't care for something like that. You at that point, I have to kind of go with the consistency, man. Like I feel like you say you like Tyler Perry talks about how much he loves black women and stuff like that, and why he writes them and stuff, but then like he does things like this, and I'm just like, man, do you really love black women, or you just love to exploit them for money? I mean, you are a billionaire. Um, some of this looks like it was shot on his island. I wish he would choose different locations, but it costs money, so Tyler Perry doesn't like spending money. I get it. Um, but he's got to put some more effort, man. This is garbage. I know I said this was his best movie, but again, like that's literally that is a low bar to cross. Like if you're playing like like if you're playing like limbo or whatever, like it's the bar where like the bar's sitting on the ground and you just step over it. Like what, like what do you have to achieve after that? I mean, that's a very low bar. Um, yeah, man, I don't like this movie at all. Y'all saw, like I said, y'all saw my original review. I kind of rushed that one out a little bit, uh, to put it on the channel or whatever. But this one, I just kept thinking about the movie more and more, and I was like, yeah, I have to talk about this. Uh, but yeah, this movie's garbage. Uh, yeah, it's a do not recommend. Uh, the audience score, do not listen to the audience score on this one. I swear, do not listen to the audience score. The audience score is almost 80%. I think it's like 75% or something like that. That is way too high for this bullshit. I swear it's too high. So yeah, this is do not recommend. Uh, yeah, do not recommend for Tyler Perry's Straw. Did you see the movie? I do have a comment section that you could talk into, or type into. There's talk to type, so you can do that as well, or talk to text, so you can do that as well too. However you feel like you have to get the message across. Give me your opinion, and the people who actually have put their comments on here, I respectively disagreed or agree with them. You know that you can ask them, but yeah, that is my review for Tyler Perry's Straw. Um, Not a very good movie, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.